Hello students, welcome to video lecture on web technology and its applications. This is the course overview and these are the course outcomes. We are discussing about deleting elements from an array. So as I discussed, we can explicitly delete array elements at any location using unset function available in PHP, whereas array underscore value is reindicing them numerically in the order. You can just observe this example. $days is a array which is stored with 5 strings Monday to Friday. We have used unset here and deleted the elements at 2 and 3 by using it twice. And when we do print underscore r $days, so you can just make use of this particular function for printing arrays, which does not require even loops also. We can directly output the entire array. This is how it displays at a 0 location. Monday is stored at 1, Tuesday is stored at 4, Friday is stored. In order to reindice them to sequentially, we can just use array underscore values and the name of the array. Then it is reindiced properly. You can just observe when you print it by using print underscore r, then you can see at 0th location Monday is there, and at 1 Tuesday, and at 2 Friday is stored. This is how we can delete the elements and also reindice the arrays numerically. Yes, we also have checking the presence of key, and in PHP we just observed that array keys need not be sequential and they need not have to be integers. There is a lots of flexibility compared to C arrays. Whether a particular key has been set or not, that we can check by using a built-in function isSet. We can just see here that $odd key is equal to array we have created at first location hello, at third location word is stored, and at fifth location some exclamatory mark is set. So we would like to check whether there is any key existing at location 0. So this, if this is set, then it is displaying that is something is set for the key. Otherwise it will not be displaying this. It is not going into the if at all. In this case it is not going to the if condition, and then it is going for the second if and checking whether at first location anything is present. Then it is going there is something set for key 1, and also it can display the value stored at that location by using $odd keys of 1. Yes, this is how we can check whether a key with a particular value is existing or not, is set or not, by using isSet function. So it also provides, PHP also provides sorting option. As you can see that based on key or by value, to sort the array by its values, we can simply use sort. As the values are all string, the resulting array would be like this. Friday is stored in the first location, Monday comes next, then Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, when you are sorting alphabetically. If you want to sort them according to the keys and values associated with them, then this is how we can do it. A sort can be used. That is, you need not have to change the location of them. So in that case we can use this. Only while displaying it is sorting, right? You can see the location is kept as it is. They are not moved, whereas here their location is changed. Friday is at shifted to first location, whereas Friday is at 0 only here. Monday is shifted to fifth location, kept as it is. Saturday at sixth location, like this only. There are many other array functions like array underscore keys. It is used to extract only keys of a particular array, and array underscore values is used to select a particular set of values only from the associated array. Array random, you can just randomly set the take out the element from the array. You can reverse the array elements. You can just make use of a walk inside the array, making use of a callback, in underscore array, shuffle. There are many more array operations present supported by PHP. So we will move for the next important part of the PHP, that is available built-in super global arrays. So mainly we have two of them, $_get and $_post. So I hope you remember get and post methods that we have used with the HTTP in order to pass the data form to server. PHP uses a special predefined associative arrays called superglobal variables that allow the programmer to easily access the HTTP headers, query string parameters and other commonly needed information. So these are called superglobal because they are always in the scope of global and always defined. They have certain values stored inside. So I was talking about $_get and $_post arrays. So let us take one example of HTML form in which we are submitting our data to say a server-side program written in PHP. Method used is get. Say this is the data we are sending, two text box values, two text box data having the names as uname and pass. In this case, how we can retrieve this data at the server side program is, this is how it can do it. $_get of uname, it will be outputting whatever we have entered into the text box. Say name is entered as Ricardo, that is retrieved, that is echoed here because we have used the echo statement that is printed on the screen. Similarly, if you just access $_get of pass, which is the name of the text box mentioned in the form, then this is how you can access it at the server side. Whatever you enter in the password field, that gets displayed on the screen. So HTML client is sending it to the browser, a request, and then to the server, and server can retrieve this data by using these two super global arrays, either $get or $post. In this method used is get. So these all data is sent in the form of dollar, can be retrieved by using this $_get. Get requests parse query strings into $get array. Post requests are passed into the $post array. This mechanism greatly simplifies the process of accessing the data posted by the user. We need to parse the query string or the post request headers. That is the main important thing of the a server side program. So here is an example to determine if there is any data sent by the user. You can just observe this is a PHP file. Some certain part of HTML is written. PHP has started here. So we have used $_server request method. If it is post, is set $post with the value uname. So you know that if method sent is post and you want to check whether there is any value being entered, for that any key with the name uname is existing. So for that you are checking is set function is used here. If it is stored, then what you are doing is here we redirect to authenticate and hide login form or something else you can display here. So you can just check whether the data is posted by the user or not. If it is set, then it is displaying this message. Otherwise it will again display the text box to enter the name and password here, and then it will show you a submit button so that the user can user can have a login form being displayed on his screen again without sending it to the server. So this is how you can check whether the data is entered by the user or not. We can determine like this. What it does is it is requesting for login.php, checks whether any form data has been submitted. Request for login.php, checks whether any form data has been submitted. Answer is yes this time. Perform some type of processing on form data such as checking credential in database and displaying the error message to the user because password is not entered here. Okay, well, so this is how we can access the form data also with a single name, right? This is the form. We'll see the details of this in the next video lecture. Thank you.